And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the final series of the broadcast. Welcome back to the 2026 GSL CK number 4 Day 1 PTR edition. Whew, it's been honestly a pretty fast day of StarCraft, to be honest. Considering it was going to be 4 best of 5s, we're only 3 hours in, and we are jumping into that final best of 5. Let's go. Let's jump into it. Spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the French Terran player. Oh, un momento. We have the French Terran himself. We have the blue Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the red Zerg player. The red Zerg player himself. It is Solar from South Korea. Let's go. Let us go. We are jumping in our first series, and likewise, oh right, of course. Sorry, just setting up the player cams and the players themselves. Oh, bam! We do have our Solar, and we have our Clem. Beautiful. Beautiful. We are jumping into our final series of the broadcast. Bearing in mind, the winner of this series will face off against Lambo in the next round. Lambo is waiting for the player, and also something that I appreciate is that players will have time to prepare. Remember, semifinals is tomorrow, so players will have 24 hours to prepare for their opponents and to get ready for that PTR best of 5. They will have time. For now, though, we're jumping on in. So far, so good. Standard openers here. There's no early pool, no early gas shenanigans here. Welcome to Ruby Rock. Ruby Rock is a smaller map of the map pool. Aggression is typically more favored here, and we'll see how our players will approach this. I typically do want to favor Terran players on maps like Ruby Rock, just because Terran players, they typically want to be aggressive. They want to be in your face. They want to be knocking down that front door, applying pressure. I will say that this map has some features going both ways. Because the bases are a little bit more open and accessible, it does mean that there is a lot of counter aggression available here for Solar to try to apply pressure and to potentially knock down some of these bases. On the flip side, because of that shorter rush distance, and especially because of how aggressive Clem is traditionally, that will favor Clem's early move outs, early aggression. We'll see if Solar can survive that and get into the mid game. If he can get into the mid to late game, that's when Solar can start to gain momentum and take that away from Clem. But we'll see. This is typically applicable to the live version of the game. When it comes to the PTR, changes have been made, and we have experienced them quite extensively. If you maybe missed out, I do recommend checking out some of our coverage of some of the PTR weeklies, like the Sparkling Tuna Cup, Big Star Cup, and other open tournaments. What did they feature? They featured a lot of ZVT between Beyond and Solar, and we have seen Solar experience the new Ghost with full effect, and he's been struggling. Well, all the Zerg players have. Shin, Solar, all the top Zerg Koreans, we have seen them be dominated when we get to late game by the mass Ghost. The reasoning for this is because the Ghost Sniper is no longer interruptible. On top of that, the Ghost auto attack damage was also increased as well, and we saw mass Ghost be a real issue for Solar, for Shin, for Rogue. They had a hard time engaging and dealing with that, and we saw late game Broodlord compositions crumble before the might of Beyond, especially in those matchups. Now, as I say that, this is not the regular PTR. This is the PTR 2nd edition. This is the updated version, and the Ghost has been addressed as a result. So we do see that the Ghost has been addressed. When it comes to the PTR notes themselves, Ghost damage has been reduced from 20 to 15. That is for the auto attack damage. So now the regular auto attack damage is now weaker than what it once was. And likewise, Ghost movement speed has been reduced a little bit as well. I would imagine that's to allow for some kind of counterplay here. But the snipe is still uninterruptible. True. Still uninterruptible. But again, I would imagine that those two changes, so the Ghost damage as well as the movement speed, is specifically trying to target their mass ability in ZVT in the late game. But we'll see if we can even get there. Now applying pressure with our initial Reaper Hellion. Let's poke in. And behind this, we do have our 1-1-1. A much more aggressive build here by Clem, going for a delayed 3rd CC, going for a faster starport into faster Cloak and Banshee play. Again, much more aggressive, much more assertive. This tells me that Clem, he's looking for more damage. He needs to find more damage. So far, decent shots off on the Queen. The Queen is getting very low. There's no transfuse. Yeah, there is no transfuse. Ling's getting roasted, and that Queen is exposed. He wants it, and he gets it as well. Massive pig off. Queen goes down. Strong start here for Clem. Saves that 3rd Hellion. Yeah, it does say the Hellion does pull away. Behind this, Overlord will poke in, will confirm, we'll get eyes on the researching tech lab. So Solar, he is aware of Cloak. Is at least aware. Behind this, Stim is on the way alongside extra axes. First Banshee does move out. And back at home, we do have spores now being thrown down. We have one spore on the way. Now a second. Spore production has begun. Nice tap of the drone. That was supposed to be a fourth base. Clem having fun. Yeah, so far finds damage. Spore is just now finishing at the third. We'll deflect. We'll defend. Free damage to the queen. True. Free damage. There is no overseer. There's no lair. Can we force out some transfuses? As for now, we just threaten the queens. Oh. Yeah, there's that transfuse. Bearing in mind that back at home, there is still no third CC. No third command center here. We do go into a 3-1-1 setup on 2 bases. Again, hyper aggression at the Clem. Banshees, they once again soften up these queens. They're getting very low. Oh my god, a clutch transfuse. Banshee pulls away. One of the queens gets caught. Casito, one shot away from going down. Solo, he does defend. Does deflect. Solo's holding on. Overseer is now morph in, and Solo holds. Whew. Solo, he does hold on, does defend. Now, I'm going to be a little bit concerned here for Clem. Clem, he did find some decent damage, but I would imagine he wanted more than that. He wanted more than what he achieved, ideally more queen kills. Remember, Clem's third CC is very delayed. It is on the way. He's expanding, but a much later third base here from Clem. As a result, he ideally wanted to find more damage. He did trade against the Zerglings, but again, did want more. So the pressure is very much so on Clem. Now moving out. And Clem, can he deny that southern expansion? Can he bring down the fourth? So Clem does rotate over. Remember, the queens are low. They're lacking energy because they had to spend so many transfuses earlier. Bailing speed is still on the way. Nice time of the Overlord. It does catch the Overlord, zones away the queens. Does get one. Oh, almost. Queens are low. Queens are low. Clem dancing with the army. Bailing speed is now done. And now with Bailing speed, Solo, he can defend. He can defend, he can just collapse in. Yeah, shots at the bio, takes down the tank, and Solo holds. It does hold on. As I mentioned previously, again, Clem, he needed to find more damage here. He's lacking that momentum. Things are looking a little bit dire for the Terran. They are looking dire. Solo, he's getting out of hands. Now going for the Hydroden. We get some decent tank shots once again, though. The tank is going to go down. Oh wait, the target firing there. Oh my god. Clem, calm down. Very nice focus firing. Catching out most of the Bailings. Now diving on the queens. Again, there's no transfuse. Gets 1, 2, 3 queens. Very nice. Oh, and every single Bailing. Clem. So better trades towards the end. Behind this, claiming his third base, building up his economy, second factory's on the way, extra gases are on the way as well. Again, this is good damage, but bearing in mind that Clem, he needed this to try to equalize, to even things up. As Soul is already done droning up to 84. The pit is on the way, Hive is on the horizon. That will bring about ultras as well. Again, the goal should be for Ultra Tech, but we'll keep an eye on Solo as he is going for some Hydra support as well. Clem defends. Once again, keeping Solo busy. Solo's in position. And Solo should not lose the space. Should be able to keep up. Oh. Yeah, collapsing in, catching another tank. Forcing the pickup. And Solo, he's snowballing out of control. As we mentioned, like, if Solo can get to the mid game with a solid economy, with a stable economy, I don't see Clem surviving here and defending the third. Solo's almost maxed. He's almost maxed out. Behind this, Hive is on the way. They're moving in. And Clem is at least keeping Solar busy. Because of all this aggression, even though Clem isn't really doing any damage, he's at least keeping Solar away from his third base. As Clem is building up his Liberators, getting his fourth CC, with my production as well, Clem is just buying time. He's buying time to fortify his position, to build up his army, and it is working. Clem is closing that gap. At the same time, Hive is almost complete for Solar. And I assumed it was going to be for Ultra Tech, but no, we're going for the Lurker Den. Okay. Lurker Den into Lurker upgrades. Oh. A little bit of miss movement here from Clem. Gotta calm down. Pulls away with a Medivacs. Setting up a drop on the south side. Oh. Does have the drop. Decent mine connections. Oof. But once again, force to pick up, force to pull away, and he cannot lift up everything, and not enough Medivacs. Abandons the Marines, and some heavy losses here for Clem. Remember, Solar's maxing out at the same time. Nice counter drop. Does catch a Queen, and may even snipe the expansion. Okay. And nice snipe. The hatchery goes down. Solar racing back. And once again, this is just giving Clem more time. Solar's max. Clem is still getting there. Clem is dropping into the main. Again, threatening a dive. I do notice some frame drops here and there. It looks like we're getting a bit of a lag spike connecting to the PTR. Hopefully it does even out. If things get a little bit worse, then of course I will leave the game. I did notice a little bit of stuttering there. Oh, nice snipe. Clem. He snipes the southern fourth, the northern fourth base as well. Again, very nice snipes here from Clem. And despite Solar maxing out quite some time ago, he has not been able to make use of his army. As we try to emphasize, he has not been able to push in until now. And he finally gets across the map. Oof. The Wintermines are in position. Just one shot though. Yeah, just the one. Clem has to evacuate, has to pull away. You can see that when Solar finally moves out across the map, he denies the base. He denies the expansion. Damage is being done. At the same time, Clem pushing out across the map. Trading well. Trading against mainly Zerglings. Ooh, does take mainly shot to the face. Massive connections though. Yeah, some heavy losses there from Clem. Across the map, Clem does hold. But did bleed out a lot of bio. Thankfully did save all of his workers, true. Did save all the SCVs. He was able to pull them away in time. And Solar, can he keep up so far? He's got 3 lurkers. I'm still not entirely sold on Solar taking up into lurker tech specifically. I will help slow the game down if that's the goal. And of course can always thread them with Nidus Worms. True. But it's quite awkward to make use of lurkers when it comes to engaging into an entrenched position. So far though, they're set up. And lurker does hold the line. So far so good. We have 3 lurkers in position. The Liberator's going to be focused down, catching out both of them. Oh. Solar does take the better trade. At the same time, goes for Ling Run by. And we have plenty of reinforcements. Clem does hold, he does defend. Massing out more Liberators, Liberator Rangers on the way as well. Clem building up a better army. And Solar still stuck on Ling, Bane, Hydra. Which can hold its own, don't get me wrong. But I am concerned considering we're building up a higher Liberator count, higher Ghost count as well. Oof. Clemmy's building up. Nice mine shots. Yeah, very nice connections as every Zergling goes down. Takes down all the Zerglings, does spot the Nidus Worm. Oof. Look at the snipe. Still just 3 lurkers. He does make it back home. Pulls back home in time. Now, what's scary here, I would say the scariest thing about what's happening here is that for the most part, it's been Solar trying to react to the aggression of Clem. As a result, the third got up and running. The fourth got up and running. The fifth base is getting up and running as well. Solar, I want to say there's been only 1 or 2 times where he's applied any pressure to the economy of Clem. It's becoming an issue here. Solar, he needs to be more active. For example, this northern base is an orbital. That's crazy. That's illegal. It's not even a planetary, papi. Ay, ay, ay. As now Clem is securing this position. Solar hasn't stopped Clem's growth. He has not stopped him. Queens, they do rally into their deaths. Yeah, throwing away 3 queens. Pushing further in. Solar, he will catch one of the ghosts. Yeah, he does catch one, does catch 2. Expensive losses here for Clem. Bleeding out 2 ghosts. Yeah, it bleeds out 2 at the same time. We do see Solar defending back at home. We'll still lose another expansion. Another hatchery goes down. Nice snipes out of Clem. Once again, sniping more bases, slowing down Solar's growth. Draw play continues. And how many Vipers we had? Just one? I was gonna say, yeah, just one Viper. Mass Liberator is gonna be an issue here. Building up to 9. 9 Liberators. Clem not quite in position, so this base is going to go down. Nice pickup. Yeah, catching out 12 SCVs. Again, Clem is spread thin. He's spread thin, papi. Solar's getting ground. Oof. But this is where Clem's ready. Yeah, he's got his Mass Liberator. Clem does hold the line. At the same time, Solar, he does almost catch a ghost. And pulls back to the planetary. Clem defends his northern base. As we're getting a little bit messy here. Yeah, a little bit messy. Clem who loses drop. Once again, just trying to trade, trying to catch reinforcements, catching out 1, 2, 3 Hydras. Okay. Somewhat trading. Clem's just freeing up more supply. Once again, more Liberators. More freedom, papi. Oh. Yeah, rough rally. Rough rally out of Clem. Clem, Solar, he rotates everything here towards the south side. But pushing into all these freedom zones, I mean, some of them are unsieged. Does try to commit in. Rough Sim City, though. Yeah, Bailey's, we get some decent connections, but so many Hydras go down to the Liberators. Ay, ay, ay. Cracklings, they bust in, they kill a starport, not bad. Catching out the starport, I believe the lurkers are in the Nidus, if they are. Clem has to take this seriously. As lurkers are popping out, at the same time Clem is also pushing out. And pushing across the map, takes out an expansion. Lurkers are being bullied by the Liberators. they don't really achieve much here. Yeah, they have to get the hell out of here. As the lurkers are shut down, and Clem now can focus on his main push. He can lock in. As again, this base is set up here to push towards that southern expansion. They are right next to each other. Solar did at least deny the top right base, that is true. Did deny the expansion. Ooh, Liberators unsieged. Yeah, did pull away, did unsiege. Massive engage out of Solar, connecting with the army, and he will get a planetary. Planetary goes down, massive pickup, and takes down all the Liberators as well. They were stacked up. They were stacked up for the power bomb. Very strong fight here for Solar. At the same time, Clem counterattacks, retreating bases. But one of these bases meant more than the other. As Clem is hurting, he's running out of his bank, he's running out of steam. Clem is in trouble. Clem, he needed that expansion. And Clem is all in. He's down to 38 SCVs, 38 workers, no mineral bank. It's all or nothing for Clem. Oof, he kind of pushes these lurkers. They do finally pay for themselves. Let's go. They defend, Pappy. And initially, Clem was doing a great job when it comes to expanding and maintaining his economy, but not anymore. Not anymore. That is into the main base. I'm forced to move in. Once again, lurkers are ready. Again, Clem is trading well. Trading as best he can. But there's only so much he can do here. Lings they bust into the mineral line. Medevac getting called out. Going for the CC instead, going for the orbital. The game is getting a little bit messy though. Clem setting up at the natural, sieging up on top of the Nidus Worm. Oof, massive lurker shots. And Clem just doesn't have enough. He should not have enough here. I mean, Solar's also burning through his bank as well. Like, Solar doesn't have the best economy either. True. But he's still wreaking havoc in the main. Likewise, here come the deductions. Oh, massive lunge. And GG gets called. All the Mavericks get called out. And Solar, he will take game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. A very tense game there between Solar and Clem. Once again, I will give praise to Clem for being able to recover after a shaky start. When I say shaky start, remember, Clem did go for a very committed early game, going for a very late third CC, very delayed third base, going for the 1-1-1 into 3-1-1 setup initially into hyper aggression. We saw that Clem was struggling to really find much damage with that early game aggression, and as a result we saw Solar establish his base, build up, max out as well. He was able to build up his economy, but again, Clem did an amazing job when it comes to harassing, counterattacking, distracting Solar, and establishing his own high base count as well. So we saw a very impressive mid-game out of Clem, but towards the end we saw that Solar finally got to gain some map control, move out across the map, and start applying pressure. Once he did, Clem couldn't defend, right? He could not hold on to his 4th base, his 5th base, his natural, his main, bases that were going down time and time again. And this goes into what we said at the beginning of the game, talking about how Ruby Rock has more open expansions. And once the Zerg player can get into the mid to late game in a stable position, that's when things get much more difficult for the opposing Terran or Protoss to defend and survive. And we saw that Clem had a very hard time defending. In the end, he was torn apart. GG gets called, and now we're going to be loading into the Old Republic. Let's go. Here we go, and we have some similar sentiments on this map as well. Similar. Oh boy. As spawning in the top right-hand corner of the Old Republic, we have the French Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. Let's go. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the red Zerg player. We have the South Korean Zerg leading the series 1-0. It is Solar. Let's go. Let us go. Oh, the colors are correct, Pappy. True, true. As we do open up with the proxy. I did notice Clem's smirk earlier, and I did notice the lack of building back at home, so we're going to be opening up with the proxy racks across the map. We'll see how committed Clem is going to be. Now, we have seen Clem mess around with proxy Reaper in this matchup. As you can see, the gas is being taken, which is very unorthodox, but we have seen it in recent times from Clem. That is true. So we'll see how dedicated Clem is going to be. Solar does open up hatch first. So standard open under Solar, going hatch gas pool. And I guess we'll discuss the map a little bit later on if we get to embrace the map itself. We'll see if we can get there. For now, yep, rally directly in. Here comes the Proxy Reaper. Again, Proxy Reaper is a very rare side in TvZ, but again, this is not the first time in the past week that we've seen Clem do this in this matchup. Going Proxy Reaper. sorry, I say Clem do it. I think we saw Maru do this in GSL recently, if I recall correctly. In GSL Season 2. Now that the Reaper does break in, we'll be able to throw in the bases. Bearing in mind there is no pool, there is no queen, there is nothing to defend, just drones, and drones are going to start going down. It's going to be on Solo to minimize losses. Here we go, bunker in between the bases. Solo does notice. And Solo, he has to deny that bunker. Does have to deny. Oh, the SCV! Oh my god, getting low. Yeah, the SCV gets low enough, which means the bunker is denied. Oh, actually, never mind. We come back. We double back around. Yeah, we do double back around. Likewise, spawning spine crawlers on the way. We go straight for the mineral line, and oh, so far, no major damage. Just one drone kill. Just one. Just one drone. Meanwhile, the bunker does finish. Does barely finish up. And Clem is getting out of hand here. 1, 2, 3 Zergling kills. The spine crawler still on the way. Queen still a ways away as well. We need a little bit more time. Every Zergling falls. And do we get into the mineral line? Alpha now settling for the spine. Settling for the spine crawler. More Reapers are amassing. Spine crawler so very low. Oh god. And this is getting out of hand. It's getting out of hand here. Oh my god. Jesus. Oh no, the spine! Yeah, the spine is low. Barely survives. Reapers they can bypass. Clem has to be careful. Again, still our trading. Back at home, we do have that factory. We have the follow-up. And this entire time, Sol's been stuck on one base. He's stuck on a one-base economy, making more Zerglings. So far, losing how many? 11 Lings have gone down. Oh no, the queen! No! Be careful. And with Link Speed, Solar should have an easier time cleaning this up, but it's still just been a rough start for Solar. I still shut everything down. I mean, oh, Link's taking across the map. Oh my god! Lings, they get in! 7 SCVs, there's nothing at home. There's nothing here. I didn't quite notice the Link counterattack, but very nice move here by Solar. Very nice. 7 SCVs, there's nothing at home to defend. At the same time, oh, he's distracted! Clem was distracted. GG gets caught. He gets surrounded with that Solar. He will take a 2-0 lead in the series. GG. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, GG well played. Again, a cheeky build here by Clem, and it wasn't looking too bad. Like, there was definitely potential there, but Solar, he snuck out some Zerglings across the map. They wreak havoc. I assumed that Clem was going to be able to get into his factory, into his Helene production, but no, he went reactor first. He went factory into reactor, and as he was building up his own factory production, he lost 7 ACVs across the map. He was crippled, he was distracted, and Solar got the surround. GG. GG well played. There was potential, don't get me wrong. There was a lot of potential for damage there, but in the end, it did fall apart. GG. GG, well played. As with that, we're getting ready for game number 3. Let's go. So 20 more workers by the 7-minute mark. Yeah, for sure, for sure. The Foxer in the chat. Something that we did mention at the beginning of the broadcast, we've been glossing over, that has been permeating throughout all of these Zerg matchups, is of course the larva change. We spoke about it initially when it comes to the update to the PTR and the update to the patch, but it does mean that in general here, Zerg production has been bolstered, has been boosted. That has allowed for some stronger early game defenses as well, and some stronger early game map control, which came into play especially in the game on Ruby Rock for sure. On Ruby Rock. But here we go, spawning in the top right hand corner of White Rabbits, we have the blue Terran player. We have the French Terran, the French Terran player himself, down in the series. Can he bounce back and make a series out of this? We have the French Terran for Team Liquid. It is Clem. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner of White Rabbits, we have the red Zerg player, the red Zerg player himself. We have the South Korean Zerg leading the series 2-0. It is a Solar. Here we go. I did just notice Rainer's tweet. He just tweeted after his series. We were of course featuring him earlier. He was like, "Yo, it's the first we had Rainer smile for the first time in a long time, Bappy." True. We brought back his smile, but at what cost, Bappy? At what cost? So for those who are curious, Rainer just tweeted, "A biggest smile I've had in quite a while playing SE2 today," which is in reference to his series versus classic, and is making reference to the lava change, of course. He can smile again. Can we bring him back from the Rift, from League of Legends? Can we bring him back? The return of Rainer. No. Meanwhile, we do have a delayed gas. It's going to be a later gas, early pull here by Solar. So pull first into a later hatchery, into a non-existent gas geyser. Ling production has begun, and we do see that this time it's going to be Solar being the aggressor. Let's go. Here we go. We do have our 6 Lings moving out across the map. Bearing in mind that Clem does go for... Oh, what is going on? Let's go, baby, let's go. Clem going for a single gas opener into a factory before CC, by the way, which is crazy. Solar's here to punish the command center, which is going to be later than usual. I'm sure Solar's aware. He's like, hold on, what's going on? Where's the CC? Lings, they will avoid the main Reaper scout. Reaper does go through the center. Lings, they bypass, and ideally they want to force a cancel, and we'll see if they find some more damages. So far, there is potential here to disrupt that production. And reactors on the way. Boys are being pulled. Reaper does turn back around. And can we force that cancel? He does. Does force a cancellation. There's the add-on swap here for Reactor Hellion, and does land in time. Whew. I was worried we were going to see the Lings get under the factory. That would have been disastrous. I mean, it already is, as SCVs are getting low. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. 3 SCV kills, getting up to 4. Oh my god. Yeah, 4 SCVs going down, but should be stopping at 4. And a brutal start. 4 SCV kills, no CC on the low ground. A brutal start here for Clem. And Solar, look at the drone count. Oh god. 30 drones. Link speed is on the way. We're still mining gas as well. Solar is having fun. He's having fun. He's enjoying himself. From here, Solar can now take up into a Roach Horn, into a Bane Bus, into a Fast Lair. Solar, he can do whatever he wants. What do we want to do, Bappy? No. And Clem is miles behind. We can see he's going to be for a Fast Lair. Okay. So we're going into that lair. You know, boys are being pulled. Drones getting roasted. So far, getting 2 drone kills. An okay start, but we need more than that. Two drones going down. We're imagining that this is going to be 2-base Muta. I would imagine here. Out of Solar. As Hellions get locked down, they get surrounded. Oof, some rough losses here for Clem. Likewise, I don't believe Clem has seen the main. Yeah, he's not aware of the lair or the gases, so Clem is playing blind. Clem does at least know there's no third expansion, so that is a sign of things to come, a sign of 2-base play, a sign of 2-base lair. As Clem, you can see, is trying to confirm. Checking for the third. There's that spy for Solar. Clem getting to his own 1-1-1. Cloak Banshee. Again, still unaware. Do we have anything at home to defend? Lings, we can just walk in. Oh no! Yeah, Lings, they just walk in. SCVs are going down. Mules as well. Heavy losses. GG gets called. And Solar, he will claim this series 3-0. Solar, he will advance on into the semi-finals. GG. Whew, look at his smile. Yeah. Yo, Zerg players, they've gotten their smiles back, Bappy. It's been years. They're like, yo, this patch is crazy. They're like, Bappy, we can play some games, Bappy. It's, oh my god. Rainer and Sola enjoying themselves, enjoying their lives. I want to say even Lambo cracked a smile before as well. I want to say a little bit. GG, well played. With that, again, we saw a very chaotic game from both players that last game. Solo going for the early pool, meanwhile Clem was going factory on one base before CC, so some shenanigans ensuing, and it led into a very chaotic game state. In the end, Solo was able to punish, able to shut down the Hellions, shut down the Reapers, deal critical economic damage, and just snowball out of control. Was a very awkward game there, as it felt like Clem was just kind of throwing what he could at the wall to see what would stick. In the end, none of it stuck by me. GG, well played. And once again, when it comes to the PTR, it's been live for like a day, if that. It's still very new when it comes to the updated PTR. I should emphasize it is the updated PTR that we're playing on. And of course, we have been experiencing some Zerg enjoyment so far in the bracket, as we can head on over and catch up with the bracket itself. Again, for those that are curious in regards to the specific changes that have been occurring, as I very quickly update the brackets. Un momento. I got you. There we go. When it comes to the specific changes, comparing PTR to PTR, where I would say that Terran were having a much stronger showing in the first iteration of the PTR. I was alluding to especially Ghost play in the late game, if we could get to the late game, but we saw that these games were very fast. Aside from the game on Ruby Rock, which was a little bit more back and forth and very intense, by the way. It was a very intense game, but it did feel like it was on a knife's edge the entire time for Clem, where if at any moment he would let up the aggression, then everything would just fall apart, and eventually it did fall apart. But when it comes to the changes influencing this matchup here, we of course have the larva change, with the larva rate being increased. So in general, production has been increased for Zerg all across the board. Likewise, queens are also cheaper. They're back to being cheaper as well, from 175 to 150 minerals, so it does make them a little bit easier to amass up to be able to defend early on as well. When it comes to Terran changes, they were mainly Ghost related for the late game, but we never got to really experience that. We did see Ghost play, of course, on Ruby Rock, but that was a little bit more happening in that game, which did lead into things going awry for Clem, I should emphasize. But yeah, again, with said increased lava rate, it does mean that Zerg players have had a stronger road to the early to mid game, getting a higher drone count faster, getting their production going a lot faster as well to be able to build up an army, and which has been allowing for some easier defensive play, and again, stronger mid game in general, which we did experience in all said matchups. I will say though that when it comes to the ZVPs, it was that alongside as well the fact that because of the Protoss changes, we saw some heavier defensive play by both Classic and Hero. We saw a lot of attempted Stargate play as well. I do still stand by the idea that I'm not too fond of Warpgate costing resources to morph in, just because again that's from our experience so far in both PTRs has been forcing more defensive play out of Protoss, which I feel like is not what we want. But you could also argue that, hey, the updated PTR, it only just went live and there's still room for growth. There's still room to like explore things and to maybe find some other like ways to approach the game, and for players to maybe explore and figure some things out. I would agree with that for sure, but I still would say my big thing, aside from, you know, some maybe proposed changes that I would want, is that that we don't have to wait 3 weeks for the next updated balance patch, right? That's the big thing for me, is that it did take us 3 weeks for us to get an updated version, and for us to get the PTR version 2 essentially. It took 3 weeks for that to happen. I would hope that if we have a version 3 on the horizon, it doesn't take 3 weeks to get there. I would hope that a week, you know, after a week, after a bunch of testing is done, after like some consensus is made and some revelations are had, that we can have some more frequent updates here from the Blizzard team. I also know, of course, that the Blizzard team is smaller. It is the Classic department, right? The Classic team, they're not just in charge of StarCraft, they're in charge of Warcraft 3, StarCraft Remastered, Heroes of the Storm. Like, they rotate, they work on other games. Of course, we don't have like a dedicated team working on StarCraft on the PTR, so they go through these cycles where they can go back to it and work on it before going back to like Diablo 2 or going back to Heroes of the Storm or things of that nature. So we can't ask for too much, but I would hope that the time in between said iterations is a little bit shorter moving forward. That is my hope, at least. It's my hope. Regardless, GG well played. Again, congratulations to our players here. Again, strong showings here from Maru, Raynor, Lambo, and Solar. Really fast games, really short series overall. 3-0s are bound. And can we avoid that ZvZ finals? The pressure is on Maru for tomorrow, bearing in mind that tomorrow is going to be the semifinals and the grand finals of this event. So best of luck to all the remaining players, Tamaru, Rainer, Lambo, and Solar, as they'll be facing off tomorrow. Likewise, when it comes to the events, a big shout out to GSL and Soup for, of course, hosting, for providing for the event. Big shout out to Shin as well. From my understanding, Shin, he's one of the great minds behind this event, has been doing a lot of admin work, has been piecing it all together, has been working alongside Soup and GSL to make this happen. So a big shout out to Shin. And of course, if you want to help support the GSL to allow for more events like this to happen, or for even a third season of GSL proper to occur, then Patreon is the place to be. Patreon.com/GSL. Again, if you want to help support StarCraft and support not just Korean StarCraft, but StarCraft as a whole, as GSL is now open globally for foreigners as well, then you can do so via the Patreon, as you can help us reach our next set of stretch goals. You can help us out. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks so much for the support. We're going to be wrapping up here for the time being. Again, tomorrow in less than 24 hours time, we will have Maru versus Rainer and Lambert versus Solar, 2 best of 5s, and then that best of 7 finals as well. It'd be crazy, man. It would be crazy. Again, if you want to check more of ourselves out, here on the CranKy Ducklings, we cast StarCraft on a daily basis. We cast more StarCraft than anyone else out there, or at least that was the case in 2022, 2023, 2024, and 2025. We logged the most amount of hours casting tournaments and covering tournaments. I will say that this year we have taken a bit of a step back. This can be Wardy's year now to, to overtake us, might be true. Where this year, where we're taking a bit of a step back. If you've been tuning into our broadcast, we just then you would have heard, but some things have happened IRL, so not as available to cast twice a day every single day, morning and evening. Nowadays we just cast once a day, and when it comes to this schedule, bam, you can see our schedule here. We just wrapped up with our GSL-CK broadcast, and again tomorrow we'll be back with some more GSL-CK as well. We also cover other events like regular weekly tournaments, OSC events as well. This season, again, in years past, we were the B stream for Home Story Cup, but this year we are not covering Home Story Cup. We're based in Australia, and we basically cast from, like, I don't know, 9 p.m. to 9 a.m. for Home Story Cups. And again, this year we're calming down on the D-Gen schedule of casting. We're calming things down and you know, sleeping. It's crazy. We can sleep. We can. We most likely will get around to covering Home Story Cup via replays more than anything, instead of live coverage that we usually provide. Via replays instead. But otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, if you're out there, in regards to specifically the PTR, because this is a PTR event, I would suggest, ideally, when it comes to your thoughts, when it comes to your opinions, to ideally wait for things to play out a little bit, and then of course provide some well-constructed criticism in terms of feedback. I know that I think there's like a thread on Reddit, there's like a feedback thread, like a mega thread that has been made, and you can of course give your feedback there. I'm sure that Blizzard are listening. They of course have already provided an amendment patch, and we're hoping that that continues, of course, and we get more of that. So do of course voice your constructed criticism and feedback there, ideally. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Take care, baby. Take care. So just catching up. But otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks so much for the support, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for some more GSL-CK action. See you then. See you tomorrow. Until then, ciao. Bye, ciao. Hasta luego.